up, everybody? Hope all y'all are doing undeniably fan-freaking-tastic out there. It is I, your Grand Poobah Booyah, James SelfStandard. It is now officially April the 1st. And folks, I can finally do my 5th Q&A video. It's been quite a while since I've been able to do one of these. It's been kind of hard to try and drag questions from almost every source of social media that I could have. But we're here today. And before I get into these questions, I would like to proudly announce that as SSP turns 10 years old, coming up in May, that I am officially changing the channel to SelfStandard Productions. And if you believe that, April Fools! Not playing. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the questions, alright? We're going to start off with my YouTube questions first. Now, I didn't want to wear this jacket today, but for the sake of the question, I had to. Alright. First, Small Town Adventures 803. That's a channel ran by my good friend Maverick. Y'all go subscribe to him. He says he has a few questions. 1. How long into the summer will you wear a hoodie? Well, ask me again when the summer gets here. We're just barely getting into spring. Alright. But while you're at it, ask those youngins in the winter while they're still wearing shorts sometimes. Alright. Number 2. Out of all the famous autographs, which one is your favorite? Probably my Teddy Long one.
You know it's the Mac Militant coming to get it on.
Now, granted, I wasn't actually there when he signed this particular picture in general, but my boss from Action Pack Wrestling, he went to the Strawberry Festival a few years ago, and he got this for me. Now, it was actually a year after that where I did go to a different Strawberry Festival, and actually did get to meet Teddy Long anyway. So I think this would be my favorite autograph right here. Like, Teddy Long didn't even charge me to take a picture with him because it was my birthday that day, and now I'm hearing sirens. I didn't do it. Alright. Number 3. Who is the most famous wrestler you have met face to face? Probably the most famous wrestler in recent memory? It would have to be somebody at WrestleCade. Yeah, but I met so many famous wrestlers that day. Kurt Angle, Rikishi, EC3, Gail Kim. Gail Kim was super nice. Who else did I meet? I didn't get to talk to the Big Show, but I did see him. I did talk to APA, Ron Simmons, and JBL. Man, there was a lot of famous wrestlers I met at WrestleCade that day. A lot of them. I even made Kurt Angle laugh at one of my bad jokes. I said, "Hey Kurt, what happens if you're using a vacuum cleaner?" "You suck. You suck. You suck." No, I'm playing. Alright. So, anyway, number 4. He asked me if Jesus was a wrestler, what would be his signature move and what would his record be? Well, that right there is a loaded question. Now, it was shortly around Christmas time where a guy dressed up like Jesus to do a spot for a wrestling match, and that looked crazy. But as far as what his record would be, I mean, I would like to say he's undefeated, but maybe, just maybe, like with Jesus being my tag team partner, and a lot of other people's tag team partners, I can tell that if he were to make the team lose, he would intervene on our behalf just so that I wouldn't take the ball or I wouldn't take the hit at the end. But if we do lose, it won't be because of him. So that's kind of a weird question to ask. Jesus should be undefeated, but I think the only way he would lose is if he would want to. Alright. And number 5. Can I ask more questions? You have 1 year to do so. Look, whenever I get ready to do my 6th Q&A, I don't want to have to keep chasing everybody down like I did this one. Alright. Next up, somebody else asked me, Teet Kappa asks, what's your favorite color? Green! Green! I love green! Yes, green's my favorite color. I incorporate it into my team colors. I incorporate it into my gimmick colors. And even though my last name may be Ramsey, my mom's last name is Green. So I'm green on my mom's side. Technically, I got that green blood in me. Alright. Who texted me? Hold up.
Hello, babe.
Hello, babe. Guess what?
What?
I'm in the middle of filming my Q&A video.
What?
I'm in the middle of filming my Q&A video.
Oh.
Camera's rolling.
Oh.
They hear you.
Hey.
They hear you.
Hey.
Yeah?
Wait a minute.
Because I'm about to answer your question next. I'm about to answer your question next. Alright. Queen Enterprises asks me, what is your favorite TV series and shows and cartoons?
Okay.
Alright, as far as regular TV shows go, I just got into Squid Games.
Okay. Oh my God.
What? What?
I say it's funny. It's funny.
But it's far as retro stuff, because I like a lot of retro stuff. I like a lot of old school stuff. I like Kenan and Kel.
Yeah.
I definitely like Sanford and Son.
Uh-huh.
Happy Days, I Dream of Jeannie.
Uh-huh.
Bewitched.
Childhood shows. Childhood shows.
Oh, stuff I grew up on.
Yeah, grown up on.
Oh, okay, well, again, Sanford and Son, Kenan and Kel, all that. Can't forget iCarly and Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
And as far as cartoon goes,
Uh-huh. SpongeBob.
SpongeBob, yes.
Ed and Eddie.
Ed and Eddie, yes. Are you gonna let me answer? Are you gonna let me answer the questions? You asked me the question, but you're answering it for me. Alright. So, SpongeBob, Ed and Eddie, Family Guy, Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Can't forget about that classic. Rest in peace, George Lau. Alright, let's see. Batman the Animated Series. That was a cool one from back in my early days. Yeah, a lot of the classic 90s Cartoon Network roster. Cow and Chicken, I Am Weasel, Powerpuff Girls, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And this is probably going to be a lot for me to edit when I go take a look at everything later. Ugh. Will they?
Yeah.
I got a video to finish filming, okay? I'll call you back later. Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll call you back tomorrow.
Okay, love you.
Love you too. Tell the aunties you love them too.
I love you too. Love you, audience.
Alright, proceeding on with the rest of the video. I think this is my last YouTube question. This one comes from Olivia Cochran, the Witch of Woe. Olivia, what happened? I thought you were supposed to have a YouTube channel better than mine. You're not uploading. You ain't uploading crap. The heck you doing out there? Like, where are you hiding? What are you doing, Olivia? Alright. Anyway, Olivia asks me, do you think I'm Dante ignoring you is the reason why your channel isn't bigger? That's actually a very good question. That's actually a very good question. Considering that this is the 10th year anniversary, coming up soon is the 10th year anniversary of I'm Dante roasting Tyrone Magnus. And yo, that video right there basically caused a reactor renaissance of 2015 and a little bit of 2016 too. But wow, now that you're mentioning it though, you know what? Hopefully I can say this with a good conscience. Yes, if Dante noticed me all the way back in 2015, then yes, everybody else probably could have too. If Dante was willing to push that one domino 10 years ago, chances are Tyrone could have noticed me, which technically he did, but he just gave me the 3 most important letters on my channel. The most important LOL on my channel came from Tyrone Magnus on one of my videos in the past. But if Dante was the first person to push that domino, Berlizzi could have noticed my roast. Akasan could have mentioned me in one of his videos. Like, I probably could have had so much reactor attention back in those first few days of roast movies. But honestly, I had to take some accountability myself too, because back then, like, my first 3 roast movies, they wasn't exactly the best quality. I mean, like, just from a Freddy Krueger standpoint, like, those roast films deserved a heck of a lot better than I was giving it to them. And maybe I haven't earned Dante's attention back then. But yeah, I guess it's safe to say that, yeah, if Dante definitely would have reacted to me 10 years ago, and he definitely would have noticed me, then yeah, chances are my channel would have been bigger today. It totally would have. Guaranteed it would have. Alright. So, next I got a couple questions here via Discord. Roxanne Vondergeist asked me, what is my biggest goal for 2025? Biggest goal for 2025 is to wrestle for a certain promotion that I'm investing time into. Now, chances are I might be able to this year, but I don't want to give details about what this promotion is until sometime in the future. If it happens, good. But right now, my biggest goal for 2025 is see that my investments matter, okay? See that I matter in wrestling, and in my mind, I have a dead set in my mind. If I can wrestle at this one particular promotion, then I'll definitely be on the right track, and I do belong with certain levels of talent. Alright, next question. From Demon Wolf Gaming. He asked me, do I believe in Joe Hendry?
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Yes, I do. Alright. What's next here? Now, there was some questions that I had to pull out via Facebook Messenger from a personal basis. Alright. One of my friends from church, Caleb Watley, asked me, what is the best Star Wars movie? I was never that big of a Star Wars fanatic. I mean, yes, I've seen all the movies. But I'm the kind of person that thinks that, like, if a movie is technically a sequel, then they all get put together into one franchise. They're just like cut up into parts. It's the same story, but it's cut up into parts. So if you was to watch the movies back to back to back to back to back, that's still one big movie by itself. That's the same mentality I have when I watch both Nutty Professors. Like, the story changes, but on one hand the story changes, but on the other hand it's progressing. So with that in mind, like, it's definitely got to be part of the Darth Vader saga, like the original 3 episodes 4, 5, and 6. But I'm gonna give it to episode 5, Star Wars 5. Don't ask me what the name of it is. But honestly, like, out of everything, I think my favorite Star Wars movie of all time is the Family Guy adaptation. Honorable mention to Spaceballs, though. Alright. Next up, Kaylin, aka Crystal, aka Spark Sauce, asked me, what do you edit with? Currently, this video has been edited and rendered through Vegas Pro 15. Alright. And it took me a minute to recognize what Spurg sauce means. Me and Crystal, we've been talking about this, like, off camera, me, her, and David. We understand each other when it comes to autism and discussions of Asperger's. So I'm seeing this name and now it's finally clicking. Spurg sauce. But both of us got that Spurg sauce going on. Thank you, Crystal. Okay. Alright. Next up. I have a lot of questions here from Chungus. Chungus is also somebody that I know on Discord, but also know through Messenger as well. And he sent me a lot of questions too. Alright. Alright, first. Which would you rather live in if you were forced to pick one? World A, one where Cartoon Network, Ernest Movies, and Marvel Comics never existed. Or World B, where Nickelodeon, YouTube, and wrestling never existed. I would rather live in World A. I mean, we're just talking about the station itself. I'm pretty sure that those iconic cartoons just would have found somewhere else to go. Yeah, that seems right. Yeah, those classic cartoons that Cartoon Network was broadcasting, they just would have ended up going somewhere else ultimately. I mean, heck, there was even a time where even Nickelodeon was actually even broadcasting Looney Tunes. Go figure. But, yeah, I don't want my wrestling going anywhere. Next, he asked me, out of the current roster, who is my favorite New Japan or AEW star? Alright, I haven't been watching New Japan regularly since at least, I want to say, pre-pandemic. Like, any New Japan I watch these days, it's only through Wrestle Kingdom, and I still have yet to go back and watch those last two matches from that show. Good gravy. My favorite wrestler on the roster though, from New Japan, is totally Tetsuya Naito. And I know New Japan crafted a lot of AEW's roster, and that's one reason why I'm a big fan of Kenny Omega too. But like, I guess that's like far as like AEW originals go. Trying not to include somebody that's just been a WWE or a TNA alumni talent. My favorite AEW original may very well have to be Orange Cassidy. I know that's an easy answer, but yeah. It's either got to be Orange Cassidy or Danhausen. One of those. Alright. Next. He asked me, you're tasked with making the next horror versus movie like Freddy versus Jason. But Jason and Freddy can't be in it. You can use any actors and any characters from any year. Who is versing who? Who do you cast, and what's the plot, and why? That is a very good question. One thing that I've been thinking about is something that might sound quite unique, but I think I would like to find a way to somehow connect, I don't know, Phantasm with Evil Dead. Angus Krim as Tall Man versus Bruce Campbell as Ash Williams. I think that would look pretty cool. I reckon the plot would be that somehow or another, I don't know, Ash finds the instructions to the dimensional fork that Jebediah Morningside used to become the Tall Man to begin with. And heck, I know Ash found a way to teleport himself back in time to the medieval ages, but maybe that's how they can connect somehow. I don't know. Alright. And as far as my why goes, I just think it would look cool. That's why. I really wouldn't mind seeing a remake version of Phantasm either. Under the right circumstances, I wouldn't mind a Phantasm reboot. And while we're talking about it, I had other ideas in mind that wasn't exactly a horror versus film. Like, again, I want to see the Phantasm franchise mixed in there with Loki. Like, that is a whole other theory by itself about how Loki and the TVA made the whole Phantasm franchise make sense. So, that and Phantasm and the Tall Man and all of his Deadites or whatever they are teaming up to take on the Council of Kings. That would be sick. And I'm also thinking about what would happen if Pinhead meets Thanos and all the Infinity Stones gets put on each side of the Lament configuration. Ain't no telling what would happen with that. Alright, so next up on Messenger, Justin Kindred Allen. Yep! Another wrestler I know. He has asked me what has been my favorite match that I was in. He wants to know what my favorite match was from one that I've been in myself. I probably answered this multiple times, but me versus Mickey Fulp, August 13th, 2021, for the APW Carolinas Championship. It was my first victory after a 0-59 losing streak, and it just felt pure magical. Just felt like pure magic that night. And heck, I didn't even know this, but the night I won that championship. The current Carolina champion, Zay Vega, he was actually in attendance for that match. Alright. Lastly from Messenger, my good friend Carter asked me who would win in a triple threat match. Remy from Ratatouille versus Stuart Little versus Roddy from Flushed Away. I told her, look, you gotta add Rizzo from the Muppets, but she didn't like that idea. I also said you can't forget about Master Splinter, but apparently all my rats look like crack addicts, apparently. Go figure. And honestly, I never seen Ratatouille. I ain't never seen Ratatouille. And Stuart Little, he's cool, but I don't see him winning it. I don't see him winning it either. But I'm going to have to give this one to Roddy from Flushed Away. It looks like he might just have the height advantage on both of them. And plus, look, Roddy, he's a snappy dresser. I don't remember actually watching the Flushed Away movie, but I do remember actually playing the game, and the game was pretty fun. Don't know what I did with that game. I actually like the Flushed Away game. Alright, and just because I got a little bit curious, I went ahead and asked AI for some questions. Not just AI though, but thanks to the Polybuzz app, which I highly recommend downloading, I talked to various AI characters. I asked AI Peter Griffin to give me some questions. A question, and he asked me this. AI Peter Griffin asked me, what's your go-to song to jam out to when you're feeling stressed? Honestly, I need to make a habit of this because it hasn't really been my idea to just like listen to music as a means of escape. I know as a Christian or like as a follower of Christ, I'm supposed to be like getting more into that. I'm trying to make a habit of that more often going forward. But one song that I used to listen to just to like try to influence me for having a good day was Travis Tritt's It's a Great
Day to be alive. I know the sun's still shining when I close my eyes.
But yeah, this morning I woke up feeling a little bit stressed, I guess, myself. But last night when I was in church, I did hear some advice that I wanted to like try to take into account. So this morning I woke up and I listened to Crushing Snakes by Crowder.
We have been liberated back from the dead we've come.
Alright. The AI Sly Cooper asked me, if I could have any superpower, what would it be? To be my own genie without the constraints of a lamp or only X amount of wishes. I want to be able to grant my own wishes and basically just do anything I want to, however I want to, just because I thunk it. Alright. The AI Azuka Midoriya asked me, who is my favorite superhero? Doctor Strange. Now, for a long time it was Spider-Man, but after I found out who Doctor Strange was, I was like, yo, his powers are awesome. Alright. And lastly, the AI Harry Potter asked me, what is the strangest thing you've done or seen? Strangest thing I've done was probably try to be Freddy Krueger Baloney as a Halloween costume. That was pretty wild up there. But like, as far as like the strangest thing I've seen though, now this is a true story, and I'm kind of glad I saved this question for last. Alright, so there is a park about a mile away from my house. I usually go out there to do my jogging, and I would walk into the woods to do my exercises or whatever. Now, mind you, this exercise trail into the woods, you can walk it both forward and backward from either direction, from either end. If you walk in on one end, you can come out on the other and vice versa. That's just the way the path works into the woods. I have analyzed the way that path works forward and backward, and even all the side, even all the shortcuts in between. So, I remember one afternoon, I'm ready to go exercise in these woods as normal. Mind you, I'm already sweating from my jogging earlier. I'm already out there jogging. I'm already sweating or whatever. And then I'm ready to go onto the actual woods trail. Alright. I already have my towel around on my neck. I'm ready to go and everything. I barely take a few steps into that forest trail when I look up at a bench and see a couple. Alright. And I could tell they were just getting started. Because she was just getting in position. I'm trying to say this with the least amount of details as possible. They were getting ready to have lovely fun with each other, if you catch my drift. And they didn't see me. Alright. They did not see me at all. Because on one hand I was too far away, but on the other hand they was too occupied, I guess. Alright. So I said, screw this. I turned heels and I walked right back out of the woods, but I still wanted to do my workouts though. So instead of going the normal route on that workout trail like I normally would, I decided to enter in through the other end and walk it backwards. Taking my time, going slow, trying to get my exercise in there, hopefully giving this couple enough time to, finish their business. Alright. So, as I'm circling back around, I can tell that as I'm walking this trail, I'm getting very close back to where that bench was. So what I did was I wanted to be courteous. Alright, I wanted to be polite about this. Alright, I didn't want to interrupt anything as least as I could. So what I did was I put that towel over my head. Alright, I could see the ground as I'm walking on it, but as far as like actually looking straight up or my peripheral vision, it's blocked by the towel. I don't see nothing. So I'm cautiously walking this trail, waiting for me to walk past this bench. And then as I'm getting closer, all of a sudden I hear that guy, and he literally walks up to me. I don't see him, I don't know him, but he's talking to me, and he's guiding me. He's guiding me forward. He said, "It's okay, brother. Just keep on walking. Just keep on walking." All right, and that was very courteous of him, and that was very courteous of me, and I could tell they had enough time to get their business finished, but apparently not enough time to actually, get everything situated. Right? They wasn't exactly done with that area, but still, the guy though, he was very courteous, and he led me on the rest of the path. That way I could just walk right past him and finish my workout and not have to interrupt anything else. And I still think that was crazy. But as soon as I got out of those woods, I was like, okay, note to self, I cannot use that bench again, at least until it rains. And that wraps up another that wraps up another Q&A video. Yeah. Hopefully if I do this next year or the year of 2027. Hopefully I get enough answers in by then. Alright. But thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah. Until next time, make sure all of you remember to be outrageously optimistic year round. Booyah. I'm out.